It is my pleasure to welcome two longtime staff members and dear friends of Gary to make another special presentation. Ken Neal, Director of Operations, and Brian Tremblay, Director of Development. Gentlemen. Easy on them.
Well, good evening. My name is Ken, and this is Brian.
Turn that page.
Brian, you've been here with the organization 1 year longer than Gary has, haven't you?
That's true, Ken, I have, and you've been with the organization just 1 year less than Gary. Is that true?
It is true, and I gotta tell you, after 36 years of carrying him, my back is really sore. And he's not a light man.
Well, you know, Ken, the three gentlemen that spoke before us had some wonderful things to say about Gary, about his dedication, his professionalism, and 37 years of service to the Boys and Girls Club of Manchester and to the Manchester community.
They certainly did, but now do we get to tell the real story?
Oh, yeah. Well, if you think if their comments were long, we could be here all night, but so what do you think?
I was the first person hired by Gary as the athletic director of the Penarville Boys and Girls Club, and he was the unit director. And we used to play staff versus kids in different games in the gym. And one day we were playing staff versus kids in dodgeball. So picture this: former UNH football player throwing rubber balls 90 miles an hour at the kids, bouncing off their head, bloody noses, kids crying, kids hiding in the corner, and these were the teens. One of the parents that was there watching this leaned over to me and said, "Who is that guy?" And I sheepishly said, "He's my boss. He runs this place."
Well, Ken, how about the time that, I think it was just before our annual trustee meeting, Gary was all dressed up in a nice blue suit, red tie, really looked professional. And the Manchester, the Mounted Police Patrol was checking things out around the Boys and Girls Club, and they deposited a major situation at the front door of the Boys and Girls Club. So there was our executive director in his nice blue suit and red tie with a shovel and a broom, making sure that our guests at the event didn't carry anything into the club. He didn't care about their shoes. It was the club that he was worried about. And you know, I don't think we ever got a call back from the mayor's office on that.
And how many of you old-timers here remember Boys and Girls Club bingo night? Well, our former executive director, Norm Penner, used to pack a cooler full of refreshments for the workers after the game was over. And it was really meant for the workers to have one or two refreshments before they went home after a long night of bingo, except for the nights that Gary and Brian worked. At the end of those nights, sometimes very late at the end of those nights, the cooler was empty. There wasn't even an ice cube left in it. And Norm the next morning was really mad. But I got to tell you, Brian, you know, of course, that he always blamed you.
And I had nothing to do with that. It was all Gary. Yeah, you know, Ken, we could go on here all night about stories like this, but what we really want to do is continue to talk about the wonderful professionalism that Gary has shared with us over the years. And over the years, he's conducted himself as a consummate leader. He understood the role the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club was to share his knowledge and to motivate the other staff people at the Boys and Girls Club to reach a higher level of responsibility. And as a matter of fact, tonight, we have an example of one of the seminars that Gary put together, and we'd like to share that with you. And if any of the drop-downs are in your way, you may want to move so you can get a clear shot of the screen on this next training session that Gary developed for us.
We all got a call from our own RSD asking us to join in on the next ALP. It cost big bucks for us to get on board, but we did take a shot in hopes we could score. Got a visit from Roxy, who gave us her cake, inspired us all with the difference we could make. She talked about a change from growth to impact. Now this is our very own plan of attack. Although completed, our project has legs, and we're all very proud of the goals that we make. From this day forward, we'll be on a new attack. The important thing we do is create impact. We're talking about impact. Oh yes, we mean impact. We have to show impact. Gotta do what we do. We're talking about impact. Oh yes, we mean impact. We have to show impact. Gotta prove what we do.
As you can see, Gary defined the word refinement and dignity as our leader.
Okay, so enough of the accolades here. Tonight we have a very special announcement for Gary. So Gary, would you please come up and join us on the stage? All right. Okay. So thanks to everyone present in this room tonight, our sponsors, our attendees, and targeted donations. The Gary Frost Fund has been established as an endowed fund at the Boys and Girls Club of Manchester. This fund, established tonight, will help change the lives of Boys and Girls Club members for generations to come. A wonderful tribute to a wonderful champion for so many children. We are thrilled to announce $67,000 has been raised. So Gary, the mic is yours.